Welcome to X Rapid Charts. My name is SB and this is not investment advice. All right, so NASDAQ has officially submitted a proposed rule change to the SEC to list and trade shares of the CoinShares XRP ETF trust. So it's happening quite quickly. We can also see they filed for Litecoin as well. Institutions are definitely coming to get their hands on crypto as soon as they possibly can. Things are definitely moving at a very fast pace at the moment, and I think we will continue to see that until things officially kick into motion. A lot of the price, though, is being driven by retail at the moment, so just be very, very careful. There's still a lot of volatility in the market and still a lot of risk in the market until things become official with institutions heavily buying, as we saw with Bitcoin once those ETFs were launched. Looking at the XRP validators, I came across this post about how decentralized the validators exactly are, especially compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, nothing against Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it's pretty cool to see how decentralized the validator network is for the XRP ledger. Moving into other news today, planting the Ripple flag in Portugal today with the Unique Cambio, our first Portuguese client and the country's leading currency exchange provider. Using Ripple's payments, their corporate customers can now move funds nearly instantly between Portugal and Brazil. So pretty cool to see how that just kicked off and was announced today from Ripple. Looking at some interesting stuff from over the weekend, the Build on Stellar XLM development, I believe, channel on x.com took a little jab here at Ripple, especially with all the momentum they've been getting. Imagine spending more on lawyers than developers and calling it progress. X__Anderson with the post stating, I wonder if there's something that they know is coming for Ripple and XRP, because I have a feeling it's not just about recent price action. There's definitely a lot of headlines right now for institutions filing for their ETF approvals, quite a few of them at this rate, and we're seeing the same for Stellar or not. If anyone does know about Stellar as well, getting some ETF approvals or submitted for approvals, if you don't mind, comment down below. I'm not sure if that's happening or not, but I would imagine some of that frustration is possibly boiling over with this comment from the Build on Stellar comment here from their X account. Looking at Michael Saylor, just announced as well this morning that they have acquired, or Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, has acquired 7,633 Bitcoin, 742.4 million, and $97,000. That's just freaking wild. It's definitely a time to be alive when you see this heavy buying. I remember when Bitcoin was $3,500, $16,000, and to see the price where it's at now and seeing everything that's happening is quite cool to see. I won't lie, but time definitely flies by. All right, so let's take a quick look at some other news here. Analyst reveals when Bitcoin price will reach $100,000. Strategy resumes buying Bitcoin, nears 480,000 Bitcoin. History could repeat a 2017 style surge. And Shiba Inu, Litecoin, Ondo, and more cryptocurrencies to watch this week. So stuff to watch. But definitely, once it's officially announced that we're seeing crypto altcoins getting ETF approvals, I will imagine that would start to see things ignite even further from where they have already. Looking at Ethereum news, Ethereum short positions surge 500% as hedge funds bet on decline. Analysts say prepare for Ethereum price to hit $17,000. Those two both couldn't be more opposite of each other there. On the short term, things, and even in this general cycle right now, the market the last few months, Ethereum has been performing quite low. Some have speculated that the price is being kept down somehow to allow institutions to grab at a discounted rate ahead of all the ETFs that are going to be going live here potentially soon. And of course, then you have people that are taking into that account that once those ETFs are launched, they're approved, they're live, they're trading, that we're going to start to see the FOMO or the price surge to these new all-time highs. So we can look at that in the charts here shortly. Take a look here at Ripple news. XRP in focus. Ripple targets Portugal crypto ecosystem, which we just went over. Crypto investment products see 1.3 billion in weekly inflows despite Trump tariff woes. Which crypto ETFs are next? Dogecoin, XRP, and Solana lead the list. So again, ETFs right now, I think are ETF news and approval, I think is going to be the next big wave of volume. You know, we saw that big volume with the administration that was voted in. As Trump came into office, he did launch his own meme coin, which I think the market didn't know how to react to that, including myself. I thought that was kind of an interesting moment there for meme coins. But since that moment, you know, the market's kind of been up and down. But I think ETF approvals may potentially reignite the market in a bullish type of way. So we'll see. Of course, that remains to be seen. That is 100% my speculation and definitely not investment advice. All right, so let's take a quick look to the charts here. And let's see here. Oh, let me go ahead and share the right screen here. All right. So Bitcoin daily chart, we can see again, overall, I've drawn out these two lines, one being like the major support, one being the major resistance zone that we can clearly see defined here. So Bitcoin currently dancing in the middle of that channel. RSI looking not too low, and it's obviously below the midpoint, but still sitting towards the lower overbought range. Could indicate that this might be a potential support zone if the buyers can continue to defend this zone and hopefully retest that $99,700 range to hopefully break above that, find some support, and potentially make another shot at new all-time highs. And on the flip side, same thing. If we see the sell volume kick in again, we'd look towards that first major resistance and support zone that we can clearly see has been supported here now for quite a few weeks at $91,000. If things were to get really, really heavy with the selling, I would look towards the Fibonacci 382 here at $87,000 for a potential for a support there from the buyers if it gets that low with the selling. So areas to look out for on the short term as we wait for institutions to get their approvals. Looking at Ethereum, same thing overall. I drew this overall support line that you can kind of see where we've seen buyers defend this zone. It looks like we're currently at the moment. Obviously, we did have that big wick that we saw as well down to $2,100 that was defended after the massive sell-off that we saw there and continued sell-off really. But so far, those prices remain to be seen. But I wouldn't discount potentially seeing those price targets again if it gets real bad. RSI looking very favorable here on the oversold side. So potentially good area for the buyers to defend to get above that 200-day moving average is where I would look for Ethereum to first achieve. And then from there, hopefully find support from that and push onto high of $4,129. From there, we would look towards the all-time high of $4,800. But until then, we got to get to its previous high before we can even start thinking about that. Now, outlook wise, I think, you know, looking overall at the previous cycle high to the low, we can see its potential range here on the extended fib anywhere between $6,000 and $7,200 I think is realistic if we were to break above that previous all-time high with some momentum. Some analysts have called, as we read there, up to $17,000, which the extended fibs do touch into that zone, but things would really have to be euphoric for the price to get that high. Again, that remains to be seen. You know, who knows what type of reaction the market will have as these ETFs go live, and as well as the volume kicks in from these institutions, could the price be driven that high? So looking at XRP, same thing. I have the fib drawn out here from the high to that low that we saw more recently about a week ago, and we can see that we're at the 382 here on the retracement, quite being defended here heavily between the buyers and the sellers. So if the sellers were to take over, I would look towards that 0.236 zone, which is about $2.17. And if it gets really heavy, potentially below a dollar at below $2 at $1.78 for another retest of that support, which was only there for a very quick moment before the prices shot back up about a week ago. And looking at the bullish side, I would say the same thing. There's a clear resistance zone right here at the 0.5, which is $2.60. If we can break above that and find support and then push on to new heights, I think that would be key to potentially making another attempt at the $3.40 price target of the all-time high, or the previous all-time high. So that is pretty much it. I'm pretty excited about, you know, some of these ETFs that are coming into the market, potentially for approval. If we can get those approvals, I think that may bring a whole new level of volume potentially, as those institutions load up and offer these cryptocurrencies at the mainstream market. And we'll see what that does as that continues to evolve. I really appreciate anyone that may find this channel entertaining, or, you know, would continue to support this channel by giving me a sub or a like. I would really appreciate that. I definitely enjoy having a different take on this type of content. And if for those of you who have known me from previous channels, it feels great to be back, and I really look forward to creating more content. So if you can, give me a like and a follow. And again, you can also follow me at x.com at xrapidcharts. Again, thank you so much for being here and making it to the end of this video. I'll see you guys on the next video.